It is official. It is official. It is the last day of the 30-day legs. Last day of the 30-day legs. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of not fun. A lot of pain. A lot of pain. What's going on with this mic? Can I get a mic check? I went through a lot of pain. A lot of pain doing this. Uh, my pain. Why am I tripping up like this? I've never been in so much pain when it comes to the legs and doing leg exercises. I've never put my legs through something this brutal. I've never been this super intentional about, targeting legs only. That was just sort of weird to me. Like, because we come from the culture of breaking up the muscles, daily, weekly, where it's like, yeah, isolating legs is no new thing or not a bad thing or anything like that. Isolating abs or isolating back, of course, that's the goal. But to sort of focus on it for 30 days, where it's like, no, we're gonna hit this two, three times a week. And actually, on the last day, we hit legs twice in a day. Oh, well, I'm gonna be real. That was the prescription. I didn't do that though. Two reasons. One, it was just too much. Like it was just too much to do legs in the morning. A full leg routine, like no skimping. That full 90 minute tough leg routine. And then to come back in the evening again. Yeah, just saying that just now put fear in me. Oh man, but this is the main reason. Reason number two is actually more of a reason than the first one because I have no problem conquering fears or, doing it scared and doing it anyway. Even if I went back and the second time I didn't give it my all, you know what I mean? I would be able to use the first time in the morning as an excuse for myself, so I can at least sleep at night or whatever. You know what I mean? Uh, but the second reason is because I can't do the gym like after 5 p.m. I've been forced to a few times, of course. Oh man, training when I was a trainer, like in the gym, because I do it independent now. But when I was stationed in a gym, that was the real nightmare. Being forced to train in the evening because of clients and their work schedules. That was the worst. So shout out to my clients that was able to get in there before 8 a.m. or before 9 a.m. Those is the best people. Uh, that time works the best for me. Whatever. But I can't do the gym after 5 p.m. And then especially legs. So even if I could get over that, which I would have, it's like, yo, it's one time, it's for the 30-day leg program, whatever. To have to do legs was the issue. Like, I would never get a squat rack. I probably never wouldn't even get the leg press because it's only one leg press in the whole gym. So, one leg press, three squat racks that people hoard. Like people, like people hold leg days on a squat rack. I've seen it. For me, it's just usually squats. Usually take about 30 minutes, and then I'm doing two, three, four different exercises. But some people I've seen them, the whole, they just squat the whole time, like squat for an hour and stretch and leave. And they do different, like they might do the little elevated, where your feet, your heels is on, stepping on a plate, so to get a little elevation. They'll do that, or wider stance for however many sets, and then the close stance. But I do the same thing sometimes. So yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm not complaining. It's just the gym is a nightmare at the 5 p.m. And then location. I'm in New York, and it's hectic. Like New York is so bad. If the gym opens at 5 a.m., at 4:30, there's two people standing in front of the damn gym door. I promise you. Now maybe that's normal where you're from. So you like, well, duh. But I know it's gonna be some folks where that's not normal. So you just think about that. How crowded the gyms be in New York. If the gym opens at 5 a.m., at 4:30 a.m., there is two guys standing in the front with their headphones and a gym bag waiting. And obviously, how do I know? I've been that guy a good amount of times. I've also been the guy that gym opens at 5 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'll get there 4:50. I get there 4:50. It's 10 people. Like, it's a line. And I'm pissed off because it's leg day and I'm trying to do 30-day legs and I can't get a squat rack. And also, the way they do it is the squat rack, again, when the gym opens, the squat rack is taken. Like, 5 a.m., it's going to be at least 6 people in the front. 3 of them is taking the squat racks. They either doing bench press, 3 of them deadlifts, 3 of them are taking the squat racks. Or they doing the squats. Like, those are that's the big three of lifting: squats on a barbell, deadlifts with the barbell, and the barbell bench press. So, yeah, once it's about 5 people, 3 of them are taking up the racks. And one or both of the other people are probably on the cables. Because that's the next thing that's always taken up in the gym is the cables. Just had to take a break, all that ranting, right? Let's see what we're doing. Okay, we ain't get to 2 plates yet. Maybe this was a high volume day. As far as the reps, you know. I'm not even watching the video, like I don't even too funny. I'm gonna get so going forward for the channel, for those 2 people that's listening, I'm gonna be doing a lot more outdoors fitness, a lot more outdoors. Found some good guys, found a good network. So a lot of young men and older gentlemen, 40s, 50s, doing some great things in the fitness space. I'm on the East Coast, so I've always been on my fitness. This 20 years for me. Like, finally get to 2 plates. Hurry up. Yeah, I've always been on my fitness. I've always been in shape and all of this. But I've kind of been a loner. I've kind of been. It's my why. You know what I mean? That explains my journey to a degree. Like my why is to live as long as possible. For one. Number two, my why is to have the best quality of life as possible as far as health is concerned. You know, when I get old, if I'm blessed to get old, arthritis and not being able to walk and needing a walker and, bad knees and my back and, you know, being fat. Like all of these things, can't walk up steps, and all of these things haunt me. They haunt me as like a fear. Um, and I've been like this for all my life to a degree. I don't know why, but as a teenager, I really started to see it. I don't know, I've always been in tune. I'm an old soul, but I've always been in tune with elders and just older people and whatnot. And I've always looked at problems that older people face and say, well, damn, how can I not face that by the time I get old? And most of those problems, it's three main areas of life where these problems, typically always are. It's personal relationships, so that's family relationships, friends, and intimate relationships. It's financial, you know, rent and mortgage and insurance and all these different food costs and, putting your children through sports and, extracurricular activities and senior dues and private school, all these different type of things, braces and whatnot, all of this stuff. Both parents having to work and never seeing their children, just all of this different type of stuff. Financial issues, car troubles and whatnot, right? And career issues and whatnot. And the third area is like health, arthritis, gout, cancer, being obese, alcoholic, addict, heart attacks, it being on dialysis and chemotherapy and all of these scary things. I've been by a lot of hospital beds. I've seen a lot. So yeah, all of those issues. I've always, was like, how do I fight these things? How do I make sure when I get old, I'm not broke and dealing with all these financial troubles? How do I make sure when I'm not old, I'm not dealing with all these relationship struggles? Grudge with my brother for 20 years. It's like, what? Crazy things like that. Seeing people 60 years old that didn't speak to somebody for 20 years. Seeing these things as a youth them always made me like, okay, that's not, no, that's not going to be me. Dying alone because I killed all of my relationships through life. So shout out to the lazy people that be leaving they damn plates. The leg press is notorious for the people leaving the plates on. They'll take them off on a barbell. That leg press, that drink I have 6 plates on each side. They gonna leave all of them on there. and just run to the next machine. So shout out to those people. Damn, really shout out to them, man. Y'all, because it's stuff like that where you don't think about the next person or don't give a damn. That really be unfortunate sometimes. Because I see a lot of women come to the leg press and it's two, three plates on each side, and they gotta sit there and lug them plates off. And you know they a little heavy for women, if we just being real. Like 9 out of 10 women, it really takes some work to move that 45 pound plate. Especially like lifting it up that high. Like that take a lot of arm, shoulder, you know what I mean? So yeah, I see a lot of women run into the leg press where it's three plates on each side, and they're trying to start with the 25s on each side. So they gotta literally take six 45 pound plates off and then put their 25s on each side on, and then start their workout, and then they eventually gonna get to a plate, two plates, you know what I mean? So now they gotta lug them and lift them back up. Yeah, it sucks sometimes. Think about the next people, man. It's not that difficult. Think about the next person behind you. Yeah, see how I turned away from the camera? Yeah, I actually had to walk to the side to fix myself. Yeah, I know how I do. Respectful, I always make sure I try not to do it in the camera's view. And then, people in the gym, I try to do a little spin around to make sure I'm not just in somebody's face with it. Oh, we got the lunges super set on this one. Okay, yeah. Ooh, mercy. Like I was saying, I've always, my why for the fitness is to not be old and helpless and diabetes and, 8 out of 10 diseases are preventable. Right? I'm 35 now. 10 years ago, I would have said 8 out of 10 diseases are curable. However, just having a better grasp over language now is just a lot better. The better answer is to say 8 out of 10 diseases are preventable. It's better to say preventable than curable. Because when you say curable, you just leave a lot more room to be wrong and for people to argue and for people's feelings and stuff to get involved and them to not hear you, because when you say curable, it's like you're talking to people that already have this dis-ease, right? Their ease is disrupted. They have discomfort. So they're already in a certain state. And then you're telling them, well, if you change your diet, like, you could cure this. I think that's a tougher crowd to talk to as opposed to the crowd of younger people where it's like, yo, look, develop these habits. Stay away from red 40s and blue number 5s and or blue 5, blue 40, red, yellow lake 5, all these crazy stuff. Uh, 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 um, stay away from all of these poisons, aspartame and stuff like that. And when you get older, hopefully the doctor won't have to tell you, like, yo, if you don't stop eating red meat today, like, it's over for you. You know what I mean? Like, I've always thought of that. I've always, noticed in the TV shows and in real life and stuff, when there's someone, usually a male too. This is why it always hit me. It's usually an older guy where it's like, sir, if you don't stop the salt, we gonna have to amputate, or something, some dire type of thing. They have a heart attack, and it's like, yo, it's the fast foods, yo, it's your cholesterol. If you don't stop the grease and the this that, it's like, yo, it's this. If you don't stop the red meat, I'm telling you, if you don't stop the salt, if you don't stop the alcohol now, the cigars or whatever, whatever it is. So I've always thought in that sort of mind frame rather. I've always had that mind frame where it's like, yo, prevent it, get it done on the front end, so that way on the back end you won't have to work as hard. Work hard while you young. Sacrifice not eating the junk food that all of your friends is eating, and sacrifice being out with people and you're the only one that don't eat this because it's bad for you. Sacrifice going over someone's home or whatever it is and politely declining something because it's bad for you and it's just normal for everybody. you know uh, 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 be that one person out of the group when y'all go out that don't drink. Be proud to be the designated driver that didn't have a drink that night. Because alcohol is poison. It is what it is. So I've always, that's always been my why and my conviction, is to prevent this stuff from, prevent myself from being hooked up to these machines and stuff like that. If I can, if I may. Like I said, 8 out of 10 diseases are preventable. So we got 2 out of 10 that I might not be able to prevent no matter how healthy I try to be. So you have that. And then the 8 out of 10 that's preventable, you still could do all of the work and somehow you get it. So it's still a battle, but at the end of the day, which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side that say, oh, you're going to die anyway and all of this, and you might still get it if you live the perfect healthy life, and pull out the 3 examples in life of people that did it right, quote unquote, and still had cancer or whatever it is? Like, if you want to do that, you live like that. Or you want to live the other side where it's like, oh, I got a chance to prevent this? If I just do this, and that, my odds go way up? It's like, no. Tell me what I gotta do for the best odds possible. And then you see the list, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do as much things on this list as possible for as long as I can while I live. And hopefully that add up to the best results, the best case scenario. And that's what I'm banking on. That's my why. Thinking about running around with my children, and them calling me old man and me schooling them on the court and still being able to race my children, when they get faster than me and things like that, when I can't hang, training with the kids, and we jogging 5 miles, and it's like I can't do that pace that I used to do 20, 30 years ago. But I want to be able to hang with them. I want to be able to at least get out there Hey, maybe they jog backwards so I could keep up with them. I don't know. But I want to be out there. I want to be moving. I want to live as long as I can. The best quality of life as I can. Less pains and stuff like that from poor diet and sitting so much for work and these screens, what they do in our eyes and our necks bending and our ears with these headphones. Shout out to those listening to this through the headphones. So I said all of that rant, all of that whole rant. The whole point of all of the rant was to say what's coming for the channel. I'm gonna do a lot more outdoors. I'm linking up with some good people. Like I'm getting in this space. I've been doing the content thing, getting used to it as far as the fitness, and I'm getting real inspired. Like, you know what? I want to make fitness my number one thing. I want to make fitness my number one thing. Be like a Billy Blanks. Shout out to him. Like just have, a training program and whatnot set up. Have my ebook, whatever, have my podcast, right? Have my channel, teaching and having discussions about health and people's testimonies and working out with different people, a lot of working out outdoors, and me, myself, trying different programs and going through the wellness, because this is a wellness journey for me as well. Bodybuilding journey, me gaining weight, me letting you all know what's the best protein powders. I've tried them all. What's the best supplements? What's the best this and that? Trying different equipment. What's the best ab wheel? Do ab wheels really work? I think about my people just starting out with fitness. So nice beginner guides, beginner kit, if you will, where it's like, okay, resistance bands, this, that, yoga mat, blah blah blah. The 10 essential sort of equipment pieces rather that you kind of need, in this fitness journey. A jump rope. Look, I'm tore up. Yo, they be funny watching myself hurt. Look, don't contemplate too much. There we go, get in there. Okay, little hamstring. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot what I did for the 2 times in a day thing. I just went 2 days in a row instead of skipping 2 days of rest. Instead of having like 2 days of rest in between, I just did 2 leg days in a row. Look, I was ooh wee. Yeah, I feel that flame, bro. It just be like somebody set fire inside. My joints be burning, my muscles be burning, cause I really put my all into them reps and stuff, full range of motion, all of that. Like, you see, I got my hands up. Most people do the leg press with the hands, down there, like holding on to, yeah, walk it off. But the reason I don't hold on is because when you get to those last few, your arms, your biceps are gonna steal some of your burn. Like your body, just natural defense mechanism is gonna recruit your arms so you don't hurt yourself. But it's like, no, I don't. You already use a little back and a little abs when you do this. So, when you're working out, just in general, typically there's no way to isolate the muscle where no other muscle is joining in. Typically, another muscle is joining in at some point in the range of motion. Like, however, you want to limit the other side of things, right? So, with the leg press, it's legs, it's lower body. So, something around the lower body region, right? Something around the muscle I'm working is gonna also be in tandem. Like, for example, the quads, right? The front, the thighs, where my hand is. And I was cheating a little bit. Having a hand there, it's like, no, you pushing that leg a tiny bit. Look, that's, you see I took the hand away? I'm like, no, stop cheating. Oh man. Walk it off. Oh, I'm probably stretching. Oh no, drop set. I had to watch my wrist though. So I could have ripped it off faster, like the NASCAR drivers and whatnot, changing the wheels and whatever. I could have went crazy, but that's how you hurt yourself. I ain't want to hurt my wrist pulling that thing off too quick. Yeah, this video about to be done. I promise. To the one person that's listening, like I was saying though, before we wrap up, there's always two muscles. Like, for example, with the leg press, it's the quads and the hamstrings working together. You know, you can't really put it all on the quads. No matter how close together your feet are or however you try to angle it, you can't do the leg press and only hit quads. You can't do squats and only hit quads. It's like, no, your glutes are gonna get involved. They're gonna get involved. So it's usually the muscle that's right near it, right around. You know what I mean? So, bicep curls. It's like, yeah, you isolating a bicep, but your tricep also gets some. Your tricep works in tandem with the bicep. So, yeah. But being that I'm working legs and that's low body and the arms are upper body, we know that there's no upper body part that would sort of naturally be involved. It will only be you purposely, you know what I mean? So, let me shut the hell up. Oh, it's over anyway. Thank the Lord.